I went to the library, picked up a book that I was just looking around, and it looked like an interesting one. The Forgotten Founding Father, Noah Webster's Obsession and the Creation of an American Culture. It was written by Joshua Kendall, who this was from 2010. He's a language enthusiast, award-winning freelance journalist, and works appeared in the Boston Globe, Wall Street Journal, Psychology Today, which would explain why he focuses so much on folks having mental illness. Seriously, this book covers so much about the mental illnesses that is kind of interesting. Not just on Noah Webster, and in case you, this is the writer of the dictionary. It was his cousin or nephew or something like that who was the U.S. Senator that people know of a lot more. Daniel Webster was that fella. But this is an interesting biography. Little boring, I will admit it, but it's worth the read through. If you've got time, I mean, it's, you know, it's only like 300 and something pages. It's not that long of a book. So let's get into this book a little bit here.
Howdy, y'all. This is Paul, the Redneck Thinker. What we have here is a channel to communicate. I want you folks to be thinking by the time you leave my videos. Why? Because I'm tired of people talking via what other people tell them to think. So, watch my video and enjoy the chance to think for yourself.
Now, I'm going to say this from the start. One of the most interesting things that I found about this book is that Kendall is more than willing to cover even the minutia. And you learn a lot of interesting things. It also makes you forget where you're at in life. I mean, Noah Webster had a pretty good life, but he wrote a dictionary. He was constantly in need of money. He wrote a dictionary, and he was active in Federalist politics. Now, mind you, he outlived the Federalist Party, like so many did, but you get to learn about a man that shapes us even today because the Webster Merriam Dictionary or Webster's Dictionary is an important part of life. Every school kid has picked one up, so yeah, it's a good thing to deal with. The It's because of him that the New York Post got started. No joke. New York Post got started because he was having a Federalist argument. Both him and Alexander Hamilton were major Federalists. They were having arguments with each other, and Alexander Hamilton had been a writer for his newspaper that he had been asked to start by George Washington. And Alexander Hamilton was no longer welcome to submit editorials or stories to give his side of things. So, to fight with Noah Webster, he started his own newspaper and it became the New York Post. This is the kind of thing that you get to find out here. Noah Webster was there for a lot of things. He wasn't exactly the most exciting person, but he was somebody that was there and knew a lot of the players. He never was in Congress, never served in the executive branch for anything. He just was someone who lived life and helped shape things around him at the same time battling his own inner demons. That is Noah Webster. And like I said, it's a little boring, but it's interesting if you want to learn little facts, like what I just told you. Yes, there are far more facts like that. And sometimes it gets a little off-putting, but at the same time, it's well worth the read. Like I said, I wouldn't pick this book up again. Um, I'm not saying that Noah Webster is not someone that you shouldn't know. I just say that, it's well worth that first read because it gives you a far better grounding of what was going on in the early years of U.S. history. It really does. It gives you a fascinating look, such as they were talking climate change. Thomas Jefferson was a person that was talking climate change. Yeah, a lot of people were talking climate change. People were discussing a lot of the same issues we have today, only it was in a far different manner. So, this is the right book to pick up if you just want to get a grounding on what U.S. history is. Plus, you get to learn about somebody that made impact on people's lives. I will say this: pick the book up. I would first go to the library to see if it's there. But now, if you're into buying books or whatnot, I'm not. There is no publisher that is paying me, so I am just telling you books to read. If you can find it in the library, pick it up and read it. It's a nice little read. Nothing spectacular, but it's well worth the one time read through. Like I said, it's a grounding. So, yeah, it's worth reading. I would give it a 2.5 out of 5 stars. It's maybe, well, no, I would give it about a 3. It's not, woo, but it's a good book. So if you get a chance, also hit like and subscribe if you like this kind of thing. On occasion, I do have books out. I've got a whole list. You can go to my playlist and you'll see that all my books are there that I've read. And this will help ground you in knowing what my other topics are because I use this knowledge to help decide how I'm going to cover topics. So, this has been Paul, the Redneck Thinker. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. So, folks, that's the story that I wanted to bring you on this video. And I just wanted to say thank you again for coming by. Hit like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff if you don't mind. Help me out. So, y'all have a good day now. Bye.